What is up, gamers? GDTaco here, and today I wanted to talk about 10 possible things you could be getting rewarded for in Halo Infinite. If you didn't play a lot of Halo 5 toward the end of its lifespan, 343 added a lot of things like the Achilles helmet for being in a Spartan Company, the Olive helmet for getting a Forge map into multiplayer, and the Fire and Ice assault rifle skins for matching with the 343 team in multiplayer. It looks like heading toward Halo Infinite, they could be moving toward a lot more items that are earned and not just bought through random rec packs and loot boxes, because they've already said that they're not going to be having paid random loot boxes in Halo Infinite. So today I wanted to go over 10 complete random guesses on maybe what 10 of these items that we could get could be. Starting off with number 1, I think probably the least cool one, but still a pretty cool achievement to get in the game that could unlock an armor for the multiplayer, or maybe even some sort of upgrade in the campaign, because we don't know exactly what the campaign's going to be like, would be 100% completing the game. And so by that, I just mean beating the entire story, and we've never seen any sort of item unlocked in any of the games except for with the Halo Wars 1 and Halo Wars 2, where it was just an achievement for completing the entire game. And I would love to see this. It would be a totally awesome challenge for some people to beat the story. I don't know how many friends I have that just buy the game and only play the multiplayer, and for some reason, that just bugs me. Number 2 is a pretty safe bet, as it has been in pretty much every single modern Halo game, and that is reach the max EXP rank. So that's just experience over time that everyone gets, no matter how good you are. But for Christ's sake, I do not want it to be as long as Halo 5's grind with 50 million XP. I'd love to see one maybe about half that. And for this one, I'd love to just see another emblem or maybe some sort of helmet, because everyone can get it. I don't want it to be too cool. Personally, I think the coolest possible thing that they could do for the max EXP rank would be something similar to the Inheritor helmet from Halo Reach, and that would be a lovely nod to that game. However, that's a little bit more cartoony, just like armor effects, and we don't know the art style exactly with multiplayer armor that they're going for in Halo Infinite. Number 3 is more of a controversial reward than either of the first two, and that would be winning a Battle Royale. And before you say, hey, they've said before there's not going to be a Battle Royale, I would say watch Sean W's video. I think at this point it's pretty likely that there could be, maybe not during launch, but eventually there will be a Battle Royale added to the game. Hate him or love him, that would just be too perfect of an opportunity not to give out some sort of gunskin or helmet, maybe an armor, for unlocking. Whether you hate or love Battle Royale, it would just be too perfect not to have some sort of armor for winning one. I'll link Sean W's video in the description where he goes over why he believes that there will be a Battle Royale in Halo Infinite eventually, and he has me convinced. I would definitely consider giving it a watch. Number 4 is getting a Forge map into multiplayer. This is something that they added later in Halo Infinite, and I don't think it was just Forge maps, it was just community creations. And it encouraged so much amazing stuff to be done in Forge. And I would love to see that continued with the power of the Series X, and seeing what people would be able to put in would just be absolutely amazing. Sometimes, honestly, for me, it's almost hard to tell which maps are dev maps and which ones are Forge maps for new players. I imagine it could even be hard. I tried to go over them with my girlfriend back and forth and pick out which ones were real and which ones were fake. And she doesn't have a great gamer eye, so it was hard for her. But I imagine with Halo Infinite, it will only get harder as Forge gets better. Either way, getting a map into multiplayer is an amazing accomplishment, and I would love to see some sort of reward for the huge Forge community that we have. And I personally think that the Olive helmet would be an awesome helmet to have, just a continuation of what Halo 5 had, but maybe some people want something new. I just think another one would be perfect. The 5th reward that I could see being likely in Halo Infinite would be something tied to the Spartan Company system that they have on HaloWaypoint.com. I just see this as likely. I personally am not sure if I'm for it. I generally don't like things that make you leave the game unless it's another game like Master Chief Collection. I just see another Achilles type group collaborative armor being likely in Halo Infinite. Hopefully nothing of Achilles farming tier. I want to say about 6 months into Halo 5's release, they added the Achilles armor, which was a clan armor that everyone in your clan worked for by earning kills. And so a lot of people wouldn't want to finish the game. They'd want to keep farming kills, and it got to the point where Warzone was almost unplayable for a few months. I just see another system like this being likely that they would put in Halo Infinite. I don't know that I would want it. I just hope that they find a way to stop it from being a farming hellspawn like Achilles was. Number 6 would be what my favorite thing to do in Halo and Doom is, and that is find all the collectibles. I would love to see another collectible system with intel like they had in Halo Wars 2 and in Halo 5, and I would love to see the skulls return. Absolutely love the skulls. They did something similar to Doom in Halo MCC and the H2A Remastered campaign where they added toys, and I thought that that was super cool. I'd love to see famous Halo characters reanimated into toys, and they would have so many opportunities with all the different storylines that they have closing in on Halo Infinite. They have, the Halo Wars 2 story, they have stories from the books, they have the Halo 5 stories. They just have so much going on, so many characters that they could put in toy form. And with a great big open world setting, they are just set up for toys everywhere, skulls everywhere, intel everywhere. The amount of lore that they could throw into their open world would just be off the charts, easy for them to do. Number 7 is one of my personal favorites, and that is I would love to see the return of the VidMaster achievements in Halo Infinite. If you don't know, VidMaster achievements were achievements added with Halo 3 ODST, I believe, and they were to help people get the Recon Armor, which was previously held for very special community members and a lot of people at Bungie. I believe it's been confirmed through Halo Mega Construct sets that Halo Infinite will have the Recon Armor, and I think that this would be the perfect way to get it. In Halo 4, 5, and Reach, it was pretty much just given out to everyone. I think that's a little bit sad considering its history. But what better way to return Recon Armor to its former glory than adding VidMaster achievements to Halo Infinite? And with 4 people co-op, it would be perfect in the open world to have a VidMaster achievement somewhere in there. Getting down to number 8, the real meat and potatoes of this whole operation. These 3 are probably the hardest, and they're personally my favorite because I love hard things to get. Some people hate this, and it's just me, but I love an item if I know that not everyone gets to use it, and I get to show it off. Number 8 would be a hard one, and I'm sure this one will be critiqued, is reaching champion, and that is the top 200 players in any playlist in the world. This was a pretty elite thing toward the beginning of Halo 5 to get. And I think it's a disappointment you didn't get anything at all except for a mark on your Halo Waypoint website service record. And the reason that they didn't give out an emblem is because if people have a champion emblem unlocked and equipped, then maybe people will quit out early in the games, and it promotes maybe some negative community habits if they have something for getting to the top ranks, like cheating and DDoSing and a lot of the stuff that they have in Siege, and I can see that being a good reason not to, but maybe just a fun gun skin would be totally awesome for those top players in the world who could reach champion. Number 9 is a totally fun one, and it's one of my favorites. It was my favorite thing to do in MCC with my friends, and that is the 3-hour speedruns. And it would be pretty hard to do and interesting to see how they do it with an open world, but I would love to see some sort of speedrunning achievement. I'm no expert, but I imagine in Halo Infinite, even though it's going to be open world, they're going to have some linear parts. I just think it would be too hard to do a full Halo story with only open world and no linear parts. So maybe they could do some sort of speedrunning with only select linear parts if they have them. Either way, I would love to see some sort of reward for speedrunning, and it'll be interesting to see if they have one in Halo Infinite, because they had them in Halo 5 and they had them in MCC. I believe they even had them in Halo Wars 2, so every recent Halo release has had some sort of speedrunning achievement and item you can unlock, so it'll be interesting to see how they do that in Halo Infinite. And number 10, or I guess it should have been number 1, doing this a little backwards, that would be some sort of achievement or item you could get in the game for completing the Lasso campaign. And while this one is very hard and a pretty exclusive, probably even more exclusive than getting to champion, it's not too hard with a reliable internet connection and Halo completionist. Lasso is what you call legendary with all skulls on, and it's one of the hardest things you can do in games to beat the Halo games on Lasso. Specifically, Halo 2 was the hardest. And I think it's a very interesting way to do difficulty rather than just adding a no-life mode or ramping up enemy damage and sponginess. Sponginess is one of the modern plagues we have in gaming. It is awful for gaming and hurts all of gaming. The reason I love Lasso is because, it's not just ramping up sponginess. It is an actual difficulty modifier or grouping of difficulty modifiers that make the whole game different to play and extremely difficult, rather than just adding more health to the Warden Eternal or whatever boss you may have. I hope you liked my video and didn't think my list was totally whack. I haven't posted in a very long time. This is my first video coming back to YouTube. I hope you liked it and you'll subscribe, because I'm going to be coming out with many more videos in the near future. Thank you for watching. Peace.